سلام الله عليكم ورحمته وبركاته. بسم الله تعالى. أهلا ومرحبا بكم في هذه الإطلالة من المفاهيم الإدارية من سلسلة تاريخ الفكر الإداري لنتشارك المعرفة ونبني هرم المعرفة. سنتحدث إليكم ومعكم من قناة جواهر علم الإدارة عن استراتيجية التغيير بحسب نظرية كوتر. خطوات التغيير بحسب كوتر أنه يتوفر 8 خطوات منهجية لإدارة التغيير في منظمتك ومن خلال 3 مراحل كالتالي. المرحلة الأولى أن تخلق مناخ مساعد على التغيير، وتنتظم هذه المرحلة في 3 خطوات، وهي خلق الشعور بضرورة وحاجة التغيير. 2 بناء التحالف القيادي لعمل التغيير. 3 تطور منظور التغيير. أما المرحلة الثانية فهو إشراك وتمكين المنظمة بأكملها لعملية التغيير، وتتم من خلال 3 خطوات: إيصال الفكرة لتقبلها لدى الآخرين، ثم القيام بإزالة المعوقات لعملية التغيير، ثم تحقيق انتصارات سريعة. أما المرحلة الثالثة فهي تنفيذ التغيير واستدامته، وتتم من خلال خطوتين: تعزيز مكاسب التغيير بحيث أنك لا تتماهل أبدا. الخطوة الثانية القيام بترسيخ التغيير ضمن ثقافة المنظمة، بمعنى أن استراتيجية التغيير بحسب نظرية كوتر تتضمن 8 خطوات للتغيير. سنعرض عليكم فيديو قصير يوضح استراتيجية التغيير بخطواتها 8 كوتر في كتابه المشهور جبلنا الجليدي يذوب. ومن هنا من قناة جواهر علم الإدارة نتقدم بالشكر أجزله والتقدير أجله للدكتور محمد العامري ومركز مهارات النجاح للاستشارات والتدريب لتوليف ترجمة الفيديو. وسنعود بعد الانتهاء من مشاهدة الفيديو لتوضيح النتائج الهامة من عرض هذا الفيديو.
This is a story about a flock of penguins who live on an iceberg in Antarctica, the South Pole. They are like a big family. They have been living as a colony on this iceberg for years, as far back as they can remember. It is their home. They don't know it yet, but change is coming for them. In order to survive, they will need to learn the change management process, one step at a time. When they aren't hunting for creatures in the sea, they spend most of their time with friends and relatives. Except this one, Fred. Fred is unusually curious and observant. He watches the sea and stuffs his observations, ideas, and conclusions in a briefcase. One day, Fred learns something alarming.
Oh boy, I have to do something. I gotta tell Alice.
This is Alice. She is one of the Penguins' Leadership Council members. She is tough and has a reputation of getting things done.
Alice, can I speak with you for a moment? I believe that our iceberg is melting.
Really? Well, show me what you mean.
So Fred took Alice to the heart of the iceberg.
See, Alice? Our iceberg has cracks that lead to larger caves. If the ice melts sufficiently, water will pour into these cracks and caves. If we have a cold winter, the water in these cracks can freeze quickly, trapping water inside the caves. Then, as the temperature goes lower, the water in the caves will freeze too. This freezing liquid will expand in volume, causing our iceberg to break into pieces. This could destroy our home and place us all in great danger.
This is not good. We must bring this information to the Leadership Council.
I'll prepare a presentation to convince them that something must be done.
The Leadership Council consists of Lewis, the head of the council, Alice, Buddy, the handsome, charismatic one, and Nono, a cranky penguin who is responsible for weather forecasts.
Causing our iceberg to break into pieces.
This is wild speculation and fear-mongering. Our iceberg can withstand such fluctuations. Can he guarantee his data and conclusions are 100% correct?
I can't. But if our iceberg breaks into pieces in winter, wouldn't many of us die?
Imagine parents who lost their children coming to us and asking, "Why didn't you foresee this crisis? It was your job to protect the colony." What would you tell them?
If Fred is correct, we only have 2 months until winter to react to this threat.
We must inform everyone. This calls for a general assembly of the colony.
No! It would be very bad to worry them.
We don't want to panic anyone.
We must keep this a secret.
I have an idea. Would you give me a few minutes, please?
Fred went quickly down the mountain and arrived minutes later with a glass bottle.
Let's fill this bottle with water, seal it, and leave it in the ice overnight. Then tomorrow we can see if it's broken by the force of expanding water as it freezes. If I am correct, the bottle will be broken.
Let's do it. We'll meet here tomorrow morning.
The next morning they found the bottle broken.
Oh.
I'm convinced. We have to do something about this.
Let us call a general assembly of the colony.
And with that, the Penguins started the change management process with step 1. Create the sense of urgency.
Clearly, our iceberg is in danger, but I am confident we will find a solution. We need to act quickly. Act quickly.
The next step was step 2. Pull together the guiding team. A diverse team of 5 penguins was given the task of finding a solution. Lewis, Alice, Fred, Buddy, and Professor, who was the smartest penguin in the colony. Each had different strengths, and together they were the best team for the job. Their task was step 3 of the change management process. Develop change vision and strategy.
I've got an idea. Let's move to the center of Antarctica, where ice is thicker and stronger.
We will be too far from the water. How will we get fish?
What about using superglue to hold the iceberg together?
That's very funny.
Look, up there! The seagull. It can't fly forever. It must have a home somewhere.
It could be very lost, but it doesn't seem to be afraid. What if moving from one place to another is just the way it lives? Like a nomad.
I can almost see how we might live. We'd learn to move around. We wouldn't try to fix melting icebergs. We would just face up to the fact that what sustains us can't go on forever.
Our founder had this same idea when he moved our colony to this iceberg years ago. This sounds like our best shot. Let's inform the others.
Their next step was number 4. Communicate for understanding and buy-in. Lewis called a general assembly again to tell all of the new strategy. Since Buddy was the best storyteller, he was chosen to tell the story of the seagull. Then Lewis addressed the crowd.
We are not chained to this piece of ice. Let it melt and break. We will find other places to live that are safer.
Although many penguins were relieved to hear this, many were still skeptical. So Alice came up with the idea of putting slogans on ice posters to win over the support of the colony. They worked hard to educate and gain their support. Then they moved the plan forward with step 5. Empower others to act.
A scout team should go and look for another iceberg. Assemble a team and get ready.
Yes, sir.
Of course, it didn't go smoothly at first. Arguments broke out among the scouts, but Lewis dealt with them in a straight and direct way, keeping the focus on the main task. Then No-No started forecasting storms to discourage the scouts and lower morale. Lewis told No-No that his forecasting services are not needed at this time. Many of the penguins, particularly the young ones, were scared about the upcoming move. Buddy asked the teachers of the colony to speak about bravery to these young penguins. He inspired them to come up with Tribute to Our Heroes Day for when the scouts return. Next, they needed to Our Heroes Day for when the scouts return. Next, they needed to act and make some progress. This is step 6, produce short-term win. The strong, bright, and highly enthusiastic scouts jumped into the water and searched for a new iceberg that would be good enough for them to move to.
My life was boring. Scouting is fun!
I will do this for the colony!
My family will be so proud of me!
When the brave scouts finally returned, they were tired and hungry, but they were greeted with a hero's welcome. They were given medals and food. They told amazing tales about the sea, about swimming long distances, and about new icebergs they had seen. As happy as everyone was to have this successful trip completed, it was no time to rest. They pressed onward with step number 7, don't let up. The next day, a second group of scouts went out and found the best iceberg for their new home.
This iceberg has everything we need. A tall snow wall and good fishing sites. During the migration, our young and old can rest along the way on small icebergs.
Let's waste no time. Start the migration before winter hits.
The colony moved to the new home. The move was chaotic at times, but with Lewis's leadership and Buddy's encouragement, they arrived safely on the new iceberg. However, they still needed to take one last step. Number 8, create a new culture. Although the new iceberg was solid and safe, they decided to move again the year after to an even better iceberg. They learned that to survive, constant change must become part of their culture. We can all learn something from the fable of these penguins. Is your organization safe? Are you sure that your iceberg is not melting? Here is a review of the change management process that the penguins used. Step 1, create a sense of urgency. Step 2, pull together the guiding team. Step 3, develop the change vision and strategy. Step 4, communicate for understanding and buy-in. Step 5, empower others to act. Step 6, produce short-term wins. Step 7, don't let up. And step 8, create a new culture. Think about these steps and how they work for our clever penguins. They can help you embrace change and keep you ahead of your melting iceberg.
لقد كانت شخصيات الكتاب والفيديو على النحو التالي: الشخص المبدع، المفكر، المصر على تطبيق أفكاره مهما كلفه ذلك من ثمن، مجسدة في شخصية فريد. أما شخصية أليس التي تمثل القيادة الشابة في اندفاعها وتقبلها للتغيير وحماستها له. أما شخصية لويس قائد التغيير المرن في تعاملاته المدرك لأفراده وقدراتهم. أما شخصية بادي اجتماعية قادرة على التعامل مع الجماهير. بينما شخصية نو بالإنجليزي ولا بالعربي هي المقاومة للتغيير والمشككة فيه بكل طاقتها. أما شخصية البروفيسور شخصية العالم الفاهم للأفراد وقوانين الكون والطبيعة. ونستنتج من هذا الفيديو المجسد لكتاب جبلنا الجليدي يذوب الدروس المستفادة التالية: أولا التدريب، ثانيا نقل التجارب الناجحة للآخرين، رمزية توظيف طاقة الشباب من خلال مجموعة الكشافة، رمزية التكافل والتعاون المجتمعي المتمثل في فريق الكشافة للبحث عن الموطن البديل، حيث تكفل المجتمع لهم بتوفير الغذاء. يتحقق جوهر النجاح في التغيير ممثلة في الشفافية وحق الجماهير أو الأفراد في الحصول على المعلومة. أيضا قائد البطاريق كان بعد كل اجتماع لمجلس القيادة يحرص على إطلاع جمهور البطاريق على النتائج والخطوات اللاحقة، ويستخدم الحشد الإعلامي لإقناع العامة بضرورة وأهمية التغيير. وهنا تأتي أهمية القيادة الإدارية، وكما قلنا في حلقات سابقة بأن الإدارة عنق الزجاجة علاها، وهنا تكمن أهمية القيادة الإدارية. النتيجة: ورغم أن جبل الجليد كان راكدا وآمنا، فإنهم قرروا في السنة التالية الانتقال إلى جبل جديد، وتعلموا أن إن أرادوا البقاء يجب أن يكون التغيير جزءا من ثقافتهم وحياتهم. ونحن جميعا يمكن أن نتعلم شيئا من قصة هذه الطيور. ماذا نتعلم من قصة البطاريق؟ أولا، هل منظماتنا أو طريقة وأسلوب حياتنا بأمان؟ هل نحن متأكدين من أن جبل الجليد الخاص بنا لا يذوب؟ الإجابة عليكم وعلينا. إلى هنا ننتهي من فترة لقاؤنا بكم بهدف البناء المعرفي للفكر الإداري. سنكون أكثر بهجة وسعادة باقتراحاتكم واستفساراتكم. سيتجدد اللقاء معكم بإذنه تعالى لنتشارك بناء المعرفة لنضع الأساس المتين لخيار القيادة الحازمة. نسأل العون والتوفيق من الله، والسلام عليكم ورحمته وبركاته.